Welcome back, officers of the Republic. It's your course honorable police chief, but more importantly, we're joined by the man who's been preaching from the mountaintop for 4 years about a Mace Windu rework. Every time that he said Mace Windu, an iconic character, a legendary character, an iconic actor, a hero, a pillar of Star Wars, even though he only had like 9 minutes of screen time, Mace Windu needs a rework. And every time he mentioned it, CG shot back. They said no, absolutely not. 4 years this man was deprived of greatness, but now he has it. He cried, he laughed, he smiled, he felt emotions. Tell us everything that went through your tiny little Mace Windu loving heart, brain, soul, spirit. Tell us everything.
No, it was literally the perfect meme to describe it is the Anchorman meme. I'm in a glass case of emotion. Yeah, it was. I don't even know how to feel. Obviously I was crying on the release stream when I got invited to the Grizzly session with Doja and Crumb. They surprised me with the this is not a scam. This is not a scam. Of Mace getting his rework, and oh my God, did they deliver?
Because this is the great part. It's a good rework, and I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, Mace Windu's an
actual rework."
Right.
A lot of people, and here's my concern. Right, this was my concern. I mentioned this months ago. My concern was that what if they just because their whole thing is they've said before, I don't like doing reworks. We don't like doing reworks. They take too much time. They don't see a lot of payout, and they're most importantly, you can't really whale on them. Right, there's no way to really monetize the rework. And so my concern was like, are they just going to give him an Omicron and call it done? Are they going to give him a Zeta or two and call it done? Like, no, he deserves so much more. He needs a head-to-toe, just full body makeover. I mean, this is Samuel L. fucking Jackson we're talking about. And yeah, they totally turned him upside down and shook him up and down and left and right. And we're like, you know what? Here you go. Here's a rework.
Because when I was reading through the kit while they're going through it live, and then we did some more breakdowns, and I had more chance to read it, and I'm sure you have as well, and so has everyone else. So we're gonna go over the kit, but this is not gonna be, the purpose of this is not an exhaustive kit breakdown. It's more about the nitty gritty. It's more about the things that people aren't thinking about, the information you're not getting anywhere else. I don't think I'm gonna ever apply his Omicron, but I'm still super excited because his reworks all of his abilities, adds new abilities. And it's a Zeta. It's a Zeta. I got 1 million of them. I'm gonna throw a Zeta on, and now I have a useful Galactic Republic character. I'm in this situation where like I don't have Cat, so I run JMK, Padme, GK, like Shakti, and like Yoda. I don't use Yoda, but I have someone else in there, right? I'm gonna sub out Padme. I'm gonna throw in Mace Windu. Padme's gonna have her own Galactic Republic team, and now I have an entire extra team at 4.5 million GP just because my Mace Windu is a little bit more usable. If I get Cat, I can then sub out GK, put GK on Kiadamundi, and now I have 5 Galactic Republic teams that are all solid. Once Cup gets his rework, I'll have a 5th for Padme. It's a glorious time to be alive. And you, maybe too hastily, let's be honest, R9'd your Mace Windu. I'm showing on screen. You've had the first R9 Mace Windu. Are you going to have the first Mace Windu Omicron?
100%. As soon as that update goes live, you best believe. Now, all right. So here's the only thing that concerns me. I work during the week.
I was gonna say you could be at work
during the week, and so if they do their typical update time is around 6:15 at night, Eastern time. If they do it then, I'm 100% on it, right on point. But if they do it during the workday, it's gonna be a hit or miss. I may not be the first Omicron, but you know what? I'm not gonna be upset about that because that means so many more people are investing in Mace, which is what I've always wanted. I've always dreamed of this moment. Number 2, I had the first R7, R8, and R9 Mace. There's literally nobody else on the entire planet that can say that they had the first R7, R8, and R9 Mace. Probably the first R7, R8, or R9 of anybody, really. So,
Are you going to have the first R10?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
First R11, 12, 13, 14?
Yes. First R69.
Dude, imagine the R14 pack. You're gonna get half an R14 for $5,000.
Shit. Well, time to take out a loan.
I was gonna say, you want to do a reverse mortgage there, but this is the great part because This is why I love you, because it's not selfish. The Mace Windu rework is not selfish. It's about the love for Mace. It's about a love for the community. And I've been inundated, absolutely swamped, drowned with screenshots of Mace Windu's being relicked for the first time, Gear 12 for the first time, Relic 7, Relic 8, Relic 9 for the first time in my Discord. This goes beyond you. This goes beyond your wildest hopes and dreams. This leaves a lasting impact on the game. And I'm excited that such an iconic character is finally, like, you know, Mole Pills said on your stream, he was like, oh, Mace Windu, this is my drunk Mole Pills impersonation. Wait. He's a trash character, but, you know, maybe I'll R7 him. You know, and I'm going to park him there. He's going to be stuck in the Walmart parking lot. Sorry, thank you very much. I know I'm not the best actor, but that was my drunk Mole Pills right there. I can't wait to see Swago.gg tomorrow or the day after and just see how many new Relic Mace Windus and higher Relic Mace Windus exist out there. Because, not going to lie, while the stream was going on, I maybe slid them up to R5, maybe R6, R7, who knows?
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
I may have stole the relics from General Veers, but I don't care. Fuck General Veers. Mace Windu's better.
So, as of right now, there are currently 3 R9s Mace Windus. I own one of them. There are currently 3, and I've spoken to one of the guys that has the other one. I can probably find the third one.
Yeah, the other one. I think the guy you spoke to is one of my boys. He was trying to get more special offense than you.
The guy that didn't respond to me.
I know, what a bitch.
That guy.
I know, what a
horrible.
loser.
Yeah, I'm calling you out.
Yeah.
I reached out with nothing but love and support for the fact that he had the second Relic 9 Mace Windu, and he just denied. He straight up just denies the chat, ignores chat.
I know, dude.
Horrible.
What an animal.
Horrible.
I think he got more special offense than you, and then you remodded, and he was sad, and I think he just, like, jumped off a bridge or something like that.
I'm known for doing that because I want to be the top tier of every Mace Windu. You know what I mean?
So let's open up the kit real quick, just to show. Because I have a couple of questions that likely you're going to be able to answer a little bit better than I could, right? I've been really trying to figure out how this Shatterpoint mechanic works, because there's a lot of turn meter, but, like, if you use them with Padme, because I feel like what people are overlooking and no one's talked about thus far is that a majority of the people who are going to benefit from this are not going to be endgame players. It's going to be the people with, like, 1.5 million GP, 4 characters. Padme's their best team. They don't have GK because they're not in a good guild. And now Mace Windu is a tank. He's doing a bunch of damage, and he's bolstering what's going to be their strongest squad at, like, 1.1 million GP. Like, this is going to be an absolute game changer in GAC for the early game. So I'm trying to figure out, with no turn meter manipulation on Padme and JMK, if people don't have Star Killer, how viable is he still going to be?
So here and here's how I'm going to answer that. Number one, a lot of people, a lot of early game players still go after, you know, things like Qui-Gon, right? Things like JKR, things that are more obtainable at a lower level. And so Mace is absolutely going to fit in with those teams. Now, once you get an Omicron on Qui-Gon, for instance, that's where I think he's going to shine a lot at the lower levels. Obviously, at the higher levels, 100%, he's still going to be really good with JMK. He's still going to be amazing under Star Killer. And at a lower level, he can probably fill a second or a third Jedi team. You know, as I've been told before, things like Ayla, things like Kit Fisto, Jedi Consular. Yeah, they might not be amazing Jedi right now, but I mean, with his rework for his lead, that alone is already still pretty good. 20% max health and offense, and recover 10% of the max health whenever they score a critical hit. I mean, that's a lot of offense and max health at a lower level.
You are the first person to mention his leadership. I thought that obvious, and they even I just, like, randomly switched seats. They even mentioned that they're like, oh well, we have to change the leadership, but I don't imagine people seeing it.
No, well, and I mean the old leadership was kind of, you know, negligible. It was, you know, 20% offense, 9% critical chance, recover 5% of their max health when scoring a critical hit. Nobody cared, right? This one with the max health, making them more survivable, that absolutely speaks to lower Jedi. And then offense, obviously, and then recovering the health, making them, you know, just more survivable. That's it. It's gonna be it's a leader ability that I think it benefits more so at the lower to mid tier accounts versus the high tier. High tier, I'm never personally. I don't see myself, unless they release some more Jedi or I see other Jedis get more reworks, I don't see myself ever using this.
Kit Fisto, I'm gonna die, Jedi Consular rework under Mace Windu. That'll be the day.
Maybe. But for now, I don't see myself ever using his lead for now. I've got so many places for him to just, I think he's going to dominate under Starkiller, and I think he's still going to be usable under JMK, even without the whole turn meter manipulation thing. I think it does, the Shatter Point, the mechanic of Shatter Point, the mechanic of resilient defense.
Can we talk about this resilient defense? Because I'm still trying to wrap my head around entirely what it does. So it's on the special 2,
Vapod.
right? The Vapod.
Yes.
Okay.
It's unique Vapod.
Okay, so basically, from what I understand, and correct me if any of this is wrong after I finish.
Sure.
He can't have taunts, but it acts like a self-inflicted mark that dissipates after he takes a certain amount of damage. But it also gives him 10% offense per stack, and he's counterattacking at 100% with an upgraded basic that not only does ability block, but also does bonus damage based on his max health, with some other turn meter manipulation that probably won't work under Padme or JMK, but under Starkiller or whatever, I'm sure that would work. So am I accurate on this, that it's basically just a self-made taunt that makes him hit a little bit harder, but also counterattack every time someone touches him?
I kind of almost look at it like this, as a callback to the reason why they can't change his status as a tank is because his entire relic is designed around him being a tank. All his stats, all his mastery is designed around him being a tank. They cannot change his tag and give him an attacker tag without changing the mastery, and that's a whole hell of a lot of work and a whole lot of code that they would have to go through. So the easiest way is kind of paying homage to how I view it, as homage for his the fact that Mace was never really a tank in any of the shows or any of the movies we see. He's an attacker. He's an aggressor. Right? Yeah. So, but one of the things that we've been complaining about for years was he has no taunt. He's not really a tank. Well, in this case, they kind of turn that around. Like, look, we know he's not a tank, so he's not going to taunt. However, he's going to force mark himself because he knows he's the biggest threat in the room. So he wants to go head on head with that opponent. So he's going to force a mark on himself, but he's going to punish you like in true Vapod form. He's going to punish you for going head on head with him by giving him increased offense per stack of resilient defense and 100% counter chance. So he's going to hit back, and then based on his max health, the increased damage off the max health, potential for an ability block. Yes, the taunt will essentially effectively go away at some point, but then he's going to gain it back once an ally with protection is damaged, which most people, especially with like Padme or JMK or somebody like that, they're going to have protection, which means he's always going to have these stacks of resilient defense. So I think it's a nice little, underball that I don't think people are really looking at because maybe they just don't know the lore of Mace.
So I always view everything from an early and mid game lens, because that's what my audience mostly is. That's where my accounts have been. That's where I focus a lot of my attention and efforts, especially more so if it ends up being free to play. He's most likely going to, he can be used in Galactic Republic or Jedi Team. So you can throw him under Qui-Gon, JMK, Jedi Knight Revan, Padme, whatever you want, right? If it's Jedi or Galactic Republic, he's going to work. Early game, if you throw him with Jedi Knight Revan, you now have a tank that counterattacks, because early Jedi Knight Revan teams, what do they suffer from? You have to hide Jolee Bindo unless he's highly relicked, because Jolee Bindo is your only way to punch up against higher teams. Padme, Absolutely. If you don't have GK, you need to protect the team so that they can't, mark Anakin or go after Anakin, kill him, take away your damage, kill Padme, take away your ability to heal and stuff like that. So you're covering there. Qui-Gon, if you're punching up against a much stronger team, your goal is to survive as long as possible before Qui-Gon dies, because no one else is dying. So if you can push that battle against like Gas or something hard, whatever the team that you're going against, if you have like a Gear 8 Qui-Gon, and then Qui-Gon's dead, and then if they have to go after him and he's got a bajillion % increased offense, They're going after him. He's counterattacking, killing them. They're going after him. He's counterattack, killing them. That saves you banners on everyone else because they're not going one attack here, one attack there, one attack everywhere. Old McDonald had a counterattack. This guy is like perfect for sub 4 million GP players in every position. And I'm excited to see where people use him because I don't know where I kind of know where I'm going to use him. But obviously I don't have like 10,000 accounts from 0 to 5 million GP to figure out all the cool places that he's going to be used.
Right. So, I think early to mid game, he's still going to be very good with Padme, with Qui-Gon, with JKR, because yes, you're losing the turn meter gain, right? With Padme. But the forced haunt, the fact of the shatter point and the resilient defense, shatter point is amazing. If you want to go ahead and pull up that unique, I know you mentioned that you weren't ever going to, or probably not give him his Omicron. I'm going to tell you why people should at least be considering his Omicron, right? If you look at his, and you should see it on screen right now. If you look at his Omicron at the bottom where it says while in territory wars, that's the Omicron. It's a territory war thing. That already makes it pretty good for a lot of people because there's a lot of guilds that prioritize TW over GAC.
Oh, I every time my guild tells me to do something, I just send them a picture of my penis and say, fuck you. I'm not going to do it.
I personally, I'm the same way. I don't like TW. I have a agreement with my guild that I do certain things in TW that I don't want to spoil. But this one specifically, okay, at the start of each other light side ally's turns, a random enemy is inflicted with speed down and shatter point, can't be evaded or resisted, and then all allies gain 5% turn meter whenever they're damaged with shatter point. Now, here's why it's big. Because that changes, instead of Mace's turn, all allies at the start of their turn, all light side allies can inflict shatter point. Imagine putting Mace on, just throwing this out there for instance, a CLS team.
I did hear you talk about that. All right,
I'm just big braining for a second. I have no idea if this would work or not.
Tell them the strat. Tell them the strat right now.
So at the start of the battle, who's going to shoot first? Han. That means instantly he's going to hit somebody with shatter point. He's going to inflict shatter point on somebody. But then he's obviously going to hit somebody with shatter point because he can choose who he wants to shoot. Right? So you can immediately hit somebody with shatter point. And then for those of you guys who don't know, because obviously shatter point is brand new, reduces defense, max health, and offense by 10% for the rest of the encounter, and enemies can ignore taunt to target that unit. Right? So, but then obviously Chewie and Chupio are going to assist with that. So you're going to lower their max health even further with Chewie's basic.
So is it every time they get hit, their max whatever's is being reduced, or is it every time
someone with shatter point is hit, their max health, defense, and offense is decreased by 10% every time. So you can.
Is that on the unique too? I'm trying to figure out where this is.
That is on his unique. Yes.
Unique number
shatter
2.
Shatter point is on his unique.
Vopad or sense weakness?
Sense weakness. That's the Omicron. Well, that's not the Omicron.
Oh,
the
here we
Zeta
go.
part.
Shatter point. Receiving damage dispels shatter point and reduces defense. Okay, so here's the thing though. Oh, because they're assisting, right? So it's not a different turn. I was gonna say because it's gonna dispel.
But with CLS lead, obviously CLS lead feeds turn meter when enemies resist, and so if you're going against, let's say, somebody with tenacity up like JKR, maybe they're gonna resist all these debuffs, which means who's gonna go next? Probably Chewie or CLS, who's now gonna inflict another stack of shadow points somewhere, and then Chupio is gonna go, who's gonna inflict another stack of shadow. And you see where I'm getting with this TW. Could potentially just get out of hand with the shatter points, to the fact where obviously you can hit anybody that has shatter point because you can ignore the taunt to attack them. I don't want people to say that, hey, you know what, the Omicron's horrible, because I don't think it's horrible.
Oh, dude,
I think there's probably better.
I think it's ridiculously broken.
Yes,
because now mirror matches are not like autoable. Because if they get shatter point on your cat and then your cat's gone, like
it puts a little bit of RNG onto it. But yes, let's imagine you put it on JMK. You put them on a JMK team, and then obviously JMK is going to go first. As long as you go first, that's the caveat. As long as you go first, and then you give the reduced cooldowns over to Cat, in theory, you can potentially get 2 times of where and you have to make sure this is the only reason this works is cat has to be faster than their cat. That's the only way this really works is because obviously if they eat your cat, you're screwed. But in theory, you're going to have 2 times the chances of getting a shatter point, and they can't be afflicted with on a Galactic Legend. So you've got 4 people on that team, of which can be chosen to get a shatter point. And then obviously, like the ability says, you can ignore taunt to target them. So imagine cat yeeting the other cat before they even take a turn. That's why I say, you know what? I think in Territory Wars, I think that Omicron is actually going to be very good, even under a JMK team.
So I'm trying to like, I've been awake for basically 24 hours, so my brain's functioning incredibly slowly. You're tired as well. So how does the turn order work? So let's say your Kenobi goes first. You put the damage immunity on cat to reduce cooldowns, right?
Sure. Yep.
Their Kenobi does the same thing. Even if you get shatter point on cat, would your annihilate wouldn't go through damage immunity, would it?
Yes.
It does go through damage immunity?
Instantly defeat.
Okay, so that's what I was concerned about was like, does the damage
immunity like Nihilus. Nihilus instantly defeats.
Okay. All right.
Same thing. Instantly defeat is instant defeat. It goes through damage immunity, and that's been tested several times on characters that have damage immunity.
Because I Mando snipe people with damage immunity all the time. That's what I cat snipe.
It's the same premise. Cat snipe.
All right. I was worried for some reason that it just did massive damage like Rex or something like that, and that it could be dodged or something like that.
It's an instant defeat. It will defeat. I mean, it defeats Malik.
Okay.
Right? Malik's immune to max health reduction, but it defeats Malik.
Here's another thing, and I don't know if this will work. So there's also, let me pull it back up for people. It says, let's say you get shatter point on cat, right? A random enemy, excluding Galactic Legends, inflicted with speed down for 1 turn and shatter point. Is the speed down resistible?
It doesn't say it's not resistible.
Which can't be resisted. Which can't be resisted. It does say that
in TW.
In TW. I'm talking about TW. The Omicron, right?
Yes, in TW it cannot be resisted. Right.
So I don't know exactly how much speed down works. Like I don't know what percentage.
I want to say it's 25%.
So is there a situation where? I mean, I guess it wouldn't work if your cat goes first because you would just snipe their cat. But is that going to come into play at all? Like getting speed down on their cat to where you could get another character to go first? I don't know if that really comes into the equation at all. But I can imagine that against maybe, I don't know, Maul or something like that. If you're fighting Lord Vader's, like having a 25% speed down allows you to take like a whatever your Kayati Mundi or your Snips or your whatever to take another turn. Is that going to give you like 2 extra turns before other people if you can apply that strategically? Or does it not matter because you're going to snipe whoever has shatter point?
In theory, it can, but I don't think for the most part. I think it's going to, kind of just be irrelevant because you're essentially you're going to snipe whoever has shatter point, which ideally in a like a mirror match against a JMK would be cat, right? So. I think it's negligible as far as that, but however, right, that cat insta kill only lasts one time. Right? So the rest of the time, every time they're getting shatter point, they're inflicting the speed down. Right, they're inflicting that speed down every time for the rest of the encounter.
And all allies are getting 5% turn meter. The only reason I bring this up is because oftentimes with Lord Vader and JMK, like it comes down to 3 or 4 speed because both of those teams are just fucking massively modded.
Now JMK's not going to get turn meter. Remember that.
Yeah. No, I know.
Right, the turn meter's all. Yeah. The turn meter's all negligible on that one.
That's Star Killer.
Right.
Okay.
Which I think in Star Killer's terms, you keep feeding Palp and Mara. Let's say Palp and Mara obviously is with the Star Killer team. Keep feeding them turn meter. Ooh, it can spiral out of control faster than you know it.
I can't remember who it was, but we were on your stream and someone was mentioning that they didn't think that this was that good for Star Killer, and I'm like, I don't see how this is not massive for Star Killer. Ranger, obviously now that the kit's out, they can kind of talk about the testing. Ranger and Heinze both
are praising Starkiller. But that's why I'm saying that his rework is more geared towards the end game.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to see benefits elsewhere, obviously. But his rework is where you're really going to see it shine is under JMK and Qui-Gon and Starkiller.
Okay. All right. I'm excited because I think everyone is. I don't think this is exclusive. I think everyone is going to be able to immediately benefit. Because even if you don't have an Omicron, like even if you don't apply the Zetas, like it's still a better kit for a character that most people have.
Yes, 100%.
And a lot of these teams are getting like sniped by, you pick up Kenobi or you pick up whatever these Qui-Gon, and then all of a sudden you have like a couple of spare Galactic Republic or Jedi. Right. And he fits so well in. It's like the Wat Tambor now of the Jedi. Like you just slide him in there.
And that's what I said. That's what I said earlier, especially for TW with the Omicron. He kind of fits more of like the plug and play role against any light side team. You can kind of just plug him in and be like, you know what, I want to use him with Padme. And as long as you're faster, as long as you got the speed advantage, I mean, they can do a lot of work on any light side team that he brings because of Shadowpoint, because of the Omicron. That's just speaking for the Omicron. Obviously, as his regular ability, he's going to need to be faster. So that's why I think he's not going to shine as much under JMK, because you need that Terminator to kind of keep him. Mace is a naturally very slow character. I mean, it's tough to get him above 300 speed without God mods. I think overall, I'm very impressed with the rework. There's a lot of niche things that they did. Like, I mean, come on, the special, this party's over. It's like his most famous line, and they had to include it, right?
I know. I know you were streaming, but like I was also streaming, and when I was reading through the screenshots and I saw this party's over, dude, chat, like all 500 people freaked the fuck out. We all started dancing and shit. We're like, this party's over. This party's over.
This party's over. Take a seat. I mean, that's another one. Come on, take a seat. That's just I think there's a couple nitpicky things. If I had to be nitpicky on a kid, which I'm not, because it's a great kid. I love it. Nice callback would have been like, immune to shock, as someone mentioned in my stream. And then obviously, eliminating Django. I don't know who's really going to take Mace against bounty hunters or Django specifically, but it would have been cool just to kind of see it in the kit, because it's thematic.
Yeah, I was actually talking about it. I was like, they really went high on the memeage for JMK, but then when Lord Vader came out, the only meme was the fact that he's dog shit, and like they're finally back on top of their memes. They're finally back to their good old fashioned memeage. Dude, I'm happy. I'm happy. You're happy. You're happy. Other people are happy. There's just so much happiness going around. Who knew that what we really needed at the end of the day was a Mace Windu rework?
I knew it.
Okay, well, you've been saying it for 4 years, but I'm saying, like, obviously you're
right.
You're always crazy until you're right?
Right.
Everyone thinks you're crazy until you're rich or right, or whatever it is that they value out of you. So
they called me crazy for 4 years. I finally today I changed my in-game name from RamBam001 Make Mace Great Again to Made Mace Great Again.
I can see that. I'm looking at it right now, because on Discord it's too long, it's abbreviated, but like in our DMs your full name is listed, because I have Discord like really wide. I like that a lot. Thank you so much for being on here. I guess
Thanks for having me.
I'm gonna have to be on your channel. I'm gonna have to be on your channel when Cup gets a rework in 7 years. The love will be spread around. I don't know who loves Mob Enforcer, but guys, if you're watching this and you want to become a streamer or a YouTuber and Mob Enforcer is your thing, when Mob Enforcer gets a rework, we'll be on your channel. That's just how it works. Like
Gamu.
Huh? Gamu?
What about Gamu? Morian Guard.
Ooh. If you need to lose a couple pounds and your channel is based on Gamu, I'll be on your channel when the Gamu Guard comes out. Thank you for being here, sir.
No, absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's been a roller coaster of emotions today, but I am so happy to finally say that we made Mace great again.
I was like, I'm waiting for the super dramatic ending there. I like that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later.